I am Jaina Bosonko and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Karaba Avenue. Thanks for joining us and Eid Mubarak. And now here are the main local news headlines. The Gambia's Foreign Minister Mamadou Tambaido on Friday took delivery of valuable medical equipment donated by the community of Sahel-Saharan states as part of wider support to member countries. At a press conference, China's ambassador to the Gambia has called for global peace and security and the need for a collaborative effort towards economic recovery, and outlined China's development plans to support the Gambia's health and food security needs. The Insurance Association of the Gambia has refuted a claim by the president of the Gambia Transport Union that they are scammers. This matter has hit the headlines at the time the country is dealing with an abnormally high traffic accident rate. Few months since the Gambia's first National Health Insurance Scheme Act came into force to enable all residents of the Gambia achieve universal health coverage, QTV has been speaking to the Health Minister to gauge the progress of the scheme's implementation. Those were our main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us, and I am Jaina Bosonko. Now, the Gambia's Foreign Minister, Mamadou Tambaido, on Friday took delivery of valuable medical equipment donated by the community of Sahel-Saharan states as part of a wider support to member countries. Aliou Cisse witnessed the event at the Banjul International Airport and filed in this report.
The Gambia is among member countries of the community of Sahel-Saharan states censored to receive these medical items to support quality health service delivery. The support is in response to a request made to censored Executive Secretary by member countries at the last Executive Council meeting held in Rabat, Morocco in March this year. The equipment comprises 1 mammography machine, 5 oxygen concentrators, 5 multiparameter monitors, and 10 gas refrigerators. The medical items were delivered to the Gambia by Maman Kiasi, Director of Infrastructure, Niger's Minister of Health, and Ibrahim Al-Mustafa, representative of Briggy Rafini, censored Executive Secretary and Niger's former Prime Minister. Dr. Mustafa Bitey, Director of Health Services with the Gambia's Health Ministry, thanked the donor, stressing that the items will be helpful in health service delivery in the Gambia.
We are expecting a mammography machine. This is big because most women need to screen regularly to see that they can pick any breast lump or breast cancer easily, and this is going to save a lot of lives. So this is a big news for women in general in the Gambia, and it's a brand new one, and we hope that we assure you and that we are going to put it in very good use, because it's going to help women in Gambia a lot. So we have also other things that are there. We have 5 oxygen concentrators. So, of course, we cannot overemphasize the need for oxygen in people who are very sick, especially in the time of COVID.
Mamadou Tangara, the Gambia's Foreign Affairs Minister, who facilitated the support, is happy with censored Executive Secretary for the swift response to the request made by him and other colleagues of the organization.
This is a step in the right direction that will give a new lease of life to our organization. And we commend him, we congratulate him, and assure him of the fullest support of the Gambia. And we also want to acknowledge and thank the President of Niger, President Mohamed Bazoum, for giving you the possibility to go around these countries by putting at your disposal an aircraft to go around some of the Sahel countries, the censored member countries, to distribute these very important equipments. We thank you for coming. Please convey our gratitude to the Executive Secretary, to the President of the Republic of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum, for facilitating your movement.
The Community of Sahel-Saharan States is an international African organization created in February 1998 in Tripoli, Libya. It is currently comprised of member states from East, West, North, and Central Africa, such as the Gambia, Ghana, Nigeria, Morocco, Egypt, Senegal, Djibouti, among others. Its objective includes the establishment of a comprehensive economic union that works to eliminate obstacles impeding the unity of its member states, as well as promote economic, cultural, political, and social integration. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The Gambia's foreign minister there, Mamadou Tangara, instead of Mamadou Tambedo, as mentioned earlier. I apologize for that. Now, at a press conference, China's ambassador to the Gambia has called for global peace and security and the need for a collaborative effort towards economic recovery to tackle development challenges. Now, the ambassador also briefed journalists about China's development plans to support Gambia's health and food security needs. Momodu Lamin Choi has the rest of that story.
This is a press conference at a moment when global peace, security and development are faced with increasing threats, a pandemic and the ravaging Russia-Ukraine war. China's ambassador to the Gambia, Ma Jianchun, briefed the press on the topic, peace and development and plans for China-Gambia cooperation in the second half of this year.
We must stay committed to abiding by the purpose of and the principles of the UN Charter, reject the Cold War mentality, oppose unilateralism, and say no to group politics and bloc confrontation.
Since 2017, China and the Gambia have deepened diplomatic ties with cooperation through which development support in public health, infrastructure, and food security has been given to the Gambia.
As a responsible major country, China will unswerving follow the pace of peaceful development and always be a builder of a world peace, a contributor to global development, and a defender of international order. Such commitments are embodied in our international engagements, and the China-Gambia cooperation is not an exception.
In November last year, China held its 8th Ministerial Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in Dakar, during which Chinese President Xi Jinping announced diplomatic cooperation with Africa through a range of fields including public health, poverty reduction, agriculture, trade and investment.
To assist the Gambia in coping with food security challenges, China decided to grant the Gambia 2,700 metric tons of rice as humanitarian aid. The rice is on preparing and expected to arrive in the Gambia sometimes this year. In order to help the Gambia build its own capabilities in addressing food security issues, China and the Gambia, we already have a cooperative program that Chinese agriculture experts are already here working in Sampu.
To help in Gambia's fight against the pandemic, China plans to dispatch another batch of medical team to the country to support medical services such as COVID-19 prevention and control. The objective, according to Ambassador Ma, is to help the country's journey towards economic recovery.
To support the Gambia in hosting the 2022 OIC summit, China has already provided a serious assistance, including build the Sir Jawara International Conference Center and donating airport security check machines and so forth. China will continue supporting the Gambia in hosting this important event.
China and the Gambia look forward to deepening relations and to exploring mutually beneficial cooperation to achieve common development goals for the people of both countries. Momodu Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Now, the Insurance Association of the Gambia has refuted a claim by the president of the Gambia Transport Union that they are scammers. This matter has hit the headlines at the time the country is dealing with an abnormally high traffic accident rate. The Insurance Association of the Gambia says it has paid over $115 million of claims in 2021. In comments widely shared across various media, the Gambia Transport Union President Omar Cisse accused insurance companies in the Gambia of being scammers. His comments were specifically regarding motor insurance. According to him, Gambians are not benefiting from the minimum $1,200 each day paid to get their vehicles insured. By law, vehicles must be insured to be on the road, and the owner may then make a claim on that insurance policy in the appropriate circumstances.
The purpose of insurance, that's most important, just to protect the passenger on board all goods. But we have been saying, a lot of people have been involved in accidents. They have injuries. Some people lost their lives, some people lost their properties, but we don't see any compensation from insurance. 0% of zero have been compensated. We feel that is not fair, because this is contract between the two parties.
The president of the Insurance Association, Makara Bajan, says remarks made by the president of the Gambia Transport Union misinform and misguide the public about the true work of insurance companies, adding that insurance companies in the Gambia are guided by law.
Insurance companies operating in the Gambia are not only registered and licensed by the Central Bank of the Gambia, who regulates all affairs of insurance companies, but equally, all insurance companies are registered in accordance with the Companies Act of the Gambia. And we all know we have very strict laws as far as operations of companies are concerned, which the Attorney General's Office, Register of Companies, actually really regulates.
The Secretary General of the Insurance Association, Moli Fasane, says there are statistics to educate the public on the amount of claims insurance companies have paid to policyholders.
2020, we are not trying to categorize the total claims paid as far as the industry is concerned. Between 2020, it's about $98,970,000 is paid. $98,970,000 paid. 2021, last year, the industry paid $115,702,000 paid as claims.
The president of the IAG says it is not the responsibility of the insurance companies to determine the roadworthiness of a vehicle, and that a third-party insurance only covers a client against third-party damages and losses. A comprehensive car insurance will cover damage to a client's vehicle, which the insurance company inspects to determine its extent.
This will depend on the institution that the law has given the powers to classify, to really license. So once the police do this, right, we really count and depend on that in order to really classify it into private motor insurance, to commercial number of passengers, or issue of worthiness, right?
Sticking to his guns, the president of the Gambia Transport Union says he will ensure drivers boycott insurance companies if they refuse to change their ways.
We will try, if they are not doing it, we will boycott them, no matter what. This is our money. We are not giving to the government, we are giving to the judge, they can take our responsibility. They fail to do so, we have no premium, no premium. We are stick on that. We are working on this.
The Insurance Association of the Gambia accuses insurance policyholders of not paying attention to contract details in certain instances, leading to misunderstanding.
Policy documents, don't even read their policy documents. And so in the event of claims, it is then that they will feel that they are not aware of some of these conditions and all of things. So it's a two-way process. We will continue to educate and enlighten and sensitize the public on the operations of insurance.
Insurance is an important financial tool. It can help you live life with fewer worries, knowing you will receive financial assistance after a disaster or an accident, helping you recover faster. Any vehicle owner intending to insure their vehicle must make sure they take out the correct type of insurance policy for their vehicle. Although the police have a huge role to play in making sure every vehicle on the road is insured, it is not their job to tell vehicle owners what type of insurance policy they should take out. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosongo. Now from that story, we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we have some more local news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Welcome, Gambian people. dañoo proud ci Gora's boutique. Gora's boutique si biir Gambia ubbeeti na boutique bu bees ca Tippa Garage Mall of the Gambia si West Africa yëpp maanaam Afrique de l'Ouest yëpp Gora's boutique rek moo fi am lu mel nii ngir bégal clientèle bi. New shop Tippa Garage Mall of the Gambia. Gora's boutique number 1 ci West Africa. Gora's boutique by Kadia. Gora's boutique ana kuy wut bazin riche ñëwal Gora's boutique. ana kuy wut bazin bower ñëwal Gora's boutique. ngay wut bazin original ñëwal Gora's boutique. ngay wut Getzner ñëwal Gora's boutique. bu dee fil à fil nga bëgg nag fii la fekk baax. coton brodé fii la fekk baax. brodé pir bi xale yi jigéen yëpp bëgg. brodé pir xaa ngi noonu amul fenn. Gora's boutique moo ko am ak am classe nga bëgg Swiss Val. brodé Autriche best quality high quality laa lay wax de. high quality maanaam high quality and unique fii rek la am Gora's boutique. jëlal gaaw til boo bëgg sax am na fa. looy wut ci tisi sañse dëgg ñëwal Gora's boutique. jëlal number Gora's boutique 76938223 wala 3072354 ay Gora's boutique ak am classe.
This is the quality of elegance.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Now, it is 4 months since the Gambia's first National Health Insurance Scheme Act came into force to provide financial risk protection and assure access to healthcare for all residents in the Gambia to achieve universal health coverage. QTV's Mamadou Lamin Choi has been speaking to the Health Minister to gauge progress the scheme's implementation.
Universal access to healthcare without discrimination is a fundamental human right as enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, meaning the right to access healthcare services when and where it is needed without financial hardship. For many countries, a national health insurance scheme has been used to achieve universal health coverage. And this is the inspiration behind the Gambia's first national health insurance scheme, which came into force on the 1st of January 2022. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Lamin Samate, tells us about the status of the scheme's implementation.
For the various positions to have the National Health Insurance Authority. We've already had the chairman of the board. Inshallah, very soon the other members of the board, especially the CEO, will be in place to work with the ex-officials of the board, who all constitute board members for the board to start, so that this the board can now facilitate the establishment of the National Health Insurance Authority that is going to be responsible for the day-to-day implementation of the activities.
To benefit from the health insurance scheme, residents of the Gambia who are not members of a private health insurance scheme must register with this scheme within 2 years of the coming into force of the Insurance Act. A National Health Insurance Authority is to be instituted through which residents will pay annual contributions to be determined by the Insurance Authority.
But at the point of care, nobody will pay anything. That's the important thing. People will carry insurance cards, and then at the point of care, nobody will pay anything. All they will do is present their insurance card and be provided with services, whatever service is needed. I think that's going to be a game changer.
Among those exempted from the annual contributions are children under 5 years, pregnant women in need of antenatal, delivery and postnatal health care, persons with mental illness, differently abled persons, pensioners above 65 years, the extreme poor, and others as determined by the Minister of Social Welfare.
but the idea is there's not going to be any catastrophic health expenditure, because the main funding of the National Health Insurance Authority is going to come from government through various percentage points from the taxes that are already being collected, from the gateway when it comes to telecommunication and other telecommunication taxes that are already there. So it's not going to cause a rise in taxing. It is already the taxation that is already going on that will be leveraged on.
To effectively deliver the health insurance scheme and provide universal health coverage, there must be a transformation of the health sector by building and upgrading health facilities and equipping them with more personnel and equipment. This is the policy direction of the Health Ministry, according to the Minister of Health. For accountability, a National Health Insurance Scheme Tribunal will be established to determine any dispute arising from the implementation of the Act and its regulations. Private health insurance providers must apply to the National Health Insurance Board and will be subject to regulations. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Brilliant initiative there. Now, in their drive to aid the internally displaced and refugees of the ongoing Casamas unrest, the World Food Programme has launched a cash transfer program in several host communities in Fonyi Kansala. More in this report by Ansumane Sonyasi.
The WFP cash transfer program is to help conflict-affected families meet their basic food needs and replenish destroyed or lost food stocks. Thousands of Gambians and non-Gambians, many of whom are being temporarily hosted in the Fonyas since the start of the recent unrest, have complained about the lack of food as one major challenge. Over 1,200 households, approximately 10,000 women, men and children, are expected to receive support from the WFP cash transfer program, with each household receiving 2,330 Gambian dollars, the equivalent of $45 per month, from April to June 2022. Though several philanthropic organizations have over the past weeks been distributing food aid to the internally displaced, the NDMA says more support is still needed, as many of the conflict-affected families are yet to receive any form of support. Thus the importance of having such a program. In a statement on the importance of this cash transfer program, Yasuhiro Sumura, the WFP representative and country director in the Gambia, said families affected by this armed conflict were already suffering from a difficult food security situation due to the poor harvest of last year, the socio-economic fallout of COVID-19 pandemic, and the rising prices. Many of them have lost their sources of income. He went further to reveal that urgent support is needed to provide humanitarian relief and protect livelihood for the most vulnerable families, allowing for a faster recovery from the impacts of the multifaceted crisis. Meanwhile, it is also believed that this assistance will help curb the rising food insecurity and malnutrition in the country. The latest CADA Harmonized, released in November 2021, has revealed that the worst level of food insecurity and malnutrition in the Gambia in the past 5 years, with 207,000 people, approximately 8.7% of the population, expected to be in Phase 3 and 4 of food insecurity starting in June 2022. The CADA is a unifying tool that helps to produce relevant, consensual, rigorous and transparent analysis of current and projected food and nutrition situations. As an effective humanitarian and development partner to the Gambia government in the fight against hunger and malnutrition through its programs, the WFP is partnering with the NDMA and the Gambia Red Cross to deliver this emergency cash transfer assistance program. Beneficiary families were identified through a joint assessment conducted by WPF and its UN partners in support of the Gambia government. The World Food Programme, among other things, assists in crisis response, school feeding, nutrition and climate-smart resilience building initiatives while supporting the strengthening of national capacity. Ansumane Sonyasi for QTV News.
Now, from that story by Ansumane Sonyasi, that is all we have for you in this edition. But before we leave, let's recap our main headlines. The Gambia's Foreign Minister Mamadou Tangara on Friday took delivery of valuable medical equipment donated by the community of Sahel-Saharan states as part of a wider support to member countries. At a press conference, China's ambassador to the Gambia has called for global peace and security and the need for a collaborative effort towards economic recovery and outlined China's development plans to support Gambia's health and food security needs. The Insurance Association of the Gambia has refuted a claim by the president of the Gambia Transport Union that they're scammers. This matter has hit the headlines at the time the country is dealing with an abnormally high traffic accident rate. It is 4 months since the Gambia's first National Health Insurance Scheme Act came into force to enable all Gambian residents achieve universal health coverage. QTV spoke to the health minister to gauge the progress of the scheme's implementation. Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Thanks for watching and join us tomorrow for more news.